All right, everybody, welcome to the Town of Stonington Beautification Committee virtual WebEx meeting. It is Monday, February 22nd, and the time is 5 o'clock. I'm going to call the meeting to order. I'm going to do a quick roll call. Danny?
Here.
Danny Kristen?
Here.
Io Brian?
Here. Here.
Oh, hey, Io. Thanks for logging in.
Julie, it's Anne Marie. I'm on phone. I'm not on WebEx.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We're not going to really share any pictures tonight, Anne Marie. The only thing is going to be the picture of the sign that Carol sent you.
I saw that. Yeah, that was beautiful.
That's the only thing. So yeah, you don't even need to see me, but I can always send you my picture. All right, Anne Marie's here. Kit is here.
Yep.
All right, Eric is not joining us tonight, and then we have Carol.
Here.
You guys are awesome. All right, thank you. So if you could just stand wherever you are for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag,
Of the
United States of America, and to the republic
for which stands one
nation,
nation, under God,
indivisible, liberty, and justice for all.
Justice for all.
All right, thanks everybody. I had to go searching for my flag. It's been a while. We haven't seen each other since November 16th. So that brings us to the approval of minutes. You all should have gotten the draft in your email today if you didn't look at it yet. Is there a motion to approve the minutes for November 16th?
I looked at it. I approve.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Second was Carol.
Carol. Yep. Second the motion.
Wonderful. Thank you. All in favor, say aye. Wonderful.
Aye.
Aye.
Wonderful. All right. So under new business, as far as correspondence, mainly what we've been receiving is a lot of requests for volunteers. So I won't really go through that list because some of them are underage, but definitely there's going to be some student volunteers that want to get involved. And I did hear from Alan Silvestri. He's got, it's a local business that he's going to be doing in downtown Pawcatuck. So he's going to be getting some volunteers working with us. I'm going to have him on next month's agenda, I believe, if he's available to talk a little bit more about that. So you all should have received, I sent you guys just kind of like a rough draft as far as our budget for this spring and summer.
Right.
Moving forward, we just want to make sure that we're getting all the plantings done with the current funds that we have. So obviously our first agenda is going to be using the up to $5,000 from the town. So you all should have received that. Our current balance after we did, plantings in the summer and the fall and some of our Christmas decorations, we're currently at $2,911.53. So moving forward, and I probably should have put this differently on the agenda, but for spring plantings on the bridges, I allocated $300, and it might not cost that much because, in the past we've been able to get donations. So if you all have that paper in front of you, I kind of put that under our savings for right now. If we don't get the donation, because I just try to even out the money so it kind of flowed right. But so the spring plantings for Stillman Avenue Bridge and Wesley Pawcatuck Bridge, I'm just putting down there to not exceed $300. So I don't know if we really need, Deb, because we, talking to Jim from the finance department, do you really, as long as we just approve the draft, Deb Downey, do you think that's just enough?
I think that's probably fine.
Okay.
Just so you have documentation that you looked at it and reviewed it and approved it.
Okay, so that's great. So is everybody comfortable with this, just not to exceed $300, and maybe we won't need that, but that's just strictly for the pansies and bulb flowers that we usually put up for a good month and a half for the bridges. You guys comfortable with that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Yes. Julie, where do we get those?
Where do you get
Where do we
the,
get those? Where do we get the, who,
as far as the
who donates-
flowers?
yes, who
So
donates those flowers?
it's more or less, Anne-Marie, it's more or less asking around. Sean has
Okay.
taken, Sean donated most of that last year, I believe. I think him and Antonio donated that. I think it was the Mystic Pet Shop that have donated in the past. I mean, if you feel comfortable asking them, or if they can give us a good price on it, it's completely up to you if you have the time to look into that.
At Mystic Pet Shop, okay.
Yep. So pansies.
Yeah.
So we're talking like pansies in all the planters. So there's 12 planters total, six on each bridge, and we usually do pansies and bulb flowers. And Carol, you probably have a better memory. Wasn't like three pots, like 6-inch pots.
Yeah.
So 3 6-inch pots of bulbs, whether it's daffodils or tulips, whatever you think's gonna hold up. I think one year we did do tulips, and maybe we had a windstorm that knocked them down. But I mean, they're inexpensive enough, so if we had to replace them, we could. So, but yeah, Anne-Marie, if you don't mind just approaching them, that would be great. And like I said, and if we don't get a sponsor for that, at least we have monies available. What I'm thinking is getting these out decorated for the holiday, which is I think the first weekend in April. So
Right.
we're looking at spring plantings, definitely end of March. Does that sound familiar, Carol? I mean,
Yes, it does. Yep.
So so if you want to look into that, Anne-Marie, that would be great.
Okay, will do.
Thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
so Carol and I talked today. We were talking about the police department, as far as allocating $150, and that should take care of the spring and summer plantings. Okay. So that's that. The Pequot Trail pots, I texted Eric today. He's thinking, not to exceed $100 for spring plantings for those 3 pots. And then as far as the summer pots, not to exceed $200. Okay, you guys comfortable with that?
Yes.
Okay. The Mystic sign, so, this falls under Kit and Anne-Marie. I'm just putting down there $60, so that's like $30 for spring and $30 for summer. But if you guys feel you need more, or and like I said, if you guys need help planting as well, that's fine. And that's just more or less pansies and bulbs, whatever you guys feel would look nice in that area.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I put down on the agenda Stonington Public Schools. That doesn't kind of come out of our budget. It's more or less that I've been working with Peter Anderson. It's just as far as supporting, like if they need us to plant. So I planted West Vine and Stonington High School pots over the Christmas holiday. And I think they would like us to be involved. So it's more or less me reaching out to Peter and say, if you want us to do your pots, we're more than willing. And then we would just their account at one of the local greenhouses. Okay, so that's why I kind of put that on there, because when the time comes, if somebody wants to, feels like doing West Vine or middle school, whoever wants our help. So we're just kind of offering our services. Okay. Moving on to the sponsorships and future fundraisers. I put that on there because if something comes up and we find a spring project that we're like, we really want to do this, like say if we want to get Donahue Park Pollinating Garden in the spring, we can put something up on social media, or we can just, when the time comes with the town of Stonington, because we do have funds available that we're asking for a pollinating garden, we can wait and maybe plant in the fall. So, that's just up for discussion. If we feel like this is, again, do we ask or do we wait till the fall when people are vaccinated and more businesses are doing better? Like I said, I think we've been very respectful and sensitive with that area. So I just want you to know that, you know, it's not like we're taking stuff off the table. It's just that we need to be kind of cautious moving forward. Does anybody want to discuss on that? Okay. And like I said, I mean, I do think, like, if something comes up and there's an opportunity, whether it's another tree planting or whatever, I mean, we can definitely, you know, discuss it, you know, and see if there's a donor out there. Okay. Let's see. All right, on the other part, West Broad, obviously with what our request was with the town of Stonington, we requested in our $5,000, the breakdown was $1,000 for tree plantings. So with the tree removal on the sidewalks in front of West Broad, with everyone that's been in party of this, and with this of the sidewalks, everyone's in agreement that the trees are not going back on the sidewalks because it's not following the ADA compliant regulations. And obviously they've done a lot of damage to the sidewalks. But we want to be very respectful to the memorials, the plaques. So moving forward, we're going to be, Eric is kind of leading this effort, talking to Barbara McCrell and Father Perkins with St. Michael's School being at West Broad, to find a location at the school, whether it be at the boundaries, but a location that we could add trees to this town property. Okay, so this $1,000, I don't know how many trees that's going to put in right now, but like I said, moving forward, like say if there's another tree that needs to be planted and we need to come up with like $200 or $500, you know, we can, you know, cross that bridge when it you know, comes, you know, we can figure that out if we can try to raise, you know, an additional $500 or whatever it is, if we can get more trees. So, but again, I think the feedback has been very good from the public as far as the clean lines and the visibility, because it definitely was a safety hazard too with the walkway, with having the covers of the trees, and there's a lot of families that use that crosswalk. But also there's just been a lot of great feedback that they're very happy that the trees are not there because it was blocking the historic, beautiful building. So I just kind of want to recap that because obviously this committee is for the plantings of trees. And when trees are removed, it's usually because it's a safety hazard. And I think, you know, with the work that Public Works have done with the sidewalks, it's so much better, you know, for people walking or pushing carriages or people on walkers. I don't know, Danny, do you want to add to that?
Can I just ask, are the sidewalks done?
Yeah, the sidewalks are done. The memorials are at the town garage right now.
The little plaques were taken.
Yep, but you know, again, we're gonna be working with Public Works and you know, St. Michael's School, and you know, it's a town building, so can definitely put it there. So I think we'll have more to report next month on that. So I'm sorry that Eric's not here to report on it, but you know, we definitely want to plant the right kind of tree as well.
Does it have to be, sorry, Dana, I know you want to speak, but initially the donors or the memorials are for trees. If the families were, if there's no place to buy trees or we can't buy, I don't know how many plaques there were, whatever, but would families be, could we put like one of those memorial plaques near the pollinating garden or, you know what I mean? Like, does it have to be by a tree, and does it have to be on the West Broad? I mean, West Broad property area?
No, I think right now we're very open. I mean, I think the biggest thing is making sure we purchase these trees, right? Because this is where the money was allocated. Can definitely, we don't have to like have a set timeline on this. We want to make sure it's done right. So no, I agree. I think the conversation needs to be had with the families to make sure they're comfortable with that. And if we have an option to have it at another town location, I mean, I think, you know, we can talk to the first selectman about that if there's other options. So no, I think just right now, Carol, we'll just make sure that we spend that $1,000 and get those trees installed. And we can definitely talk to the families
Or
And make sure-
plaques after,
Oh,
yeah,
comfortable with that in the location.
absolutely.
Explain to them the situation with the sidewalk. No, I think that's, yeah, thank you. I think that's very
Sure.
important. All right, any other discussion on that?
Hi, this is Io.
Oh, go ahead, Io. It's fine.
Okay,
Head
sorry,
up.
Danny. I'm wondering, like, as I recall at West Broad, the building behind the building, there was like no trees or shade or anything that kids at the playground could appreciate. Would that be a consideration too? And by the way, I'm also very surprised and very pleased by how nice the front of the building looks, and with the trees on the grass in front of the building, you really don't even notice that the other trees are missing.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, no, definitely, I think moving forward, definitely it's going to be the conversation, with Barbara McCrell and with Father Perkins, and I agree. I think there's been a lot of talk, because I know they have their own like committee overseeing, beautification as well at West Broad and St. Michael's. You know what I mean? Because I know I had gotten a email from, is it Fiore, Danny? I'm just drawing a blank right now.
Mm-hmm.
Jean?
Jean Fiore, I'm sorry. So that was like one of the messages that I got through text message regarding that. So, and again, I just mentioned, definitely work with Father Perkins and Eric, because they've been kind of overseeing all that and getting approval through Barbara. So, but yeah, no, there's a lot of work that needs to be done at the back of the building. I completely agree. And I think moving forward, I mean, we're going to be finding areas that we want to plant trees in Stonington. So obviously, if there's an opportunity to plant more trees at West Broad and we can find more donors, that's definitely a possibility, or at least plant the seed with getting these trees in. And then if there's more families that, whether they have students at St. Michael's or whoever to donate, we can definitely look into that. But I think the plan needs to come first on where they want these trees. So we've been kind of putting it in their corner. So no, I think it's a great suggestion. And once they develop a plan, we can definitely put it out there for donors. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. Yep.
All right. Danny, did you have a comment?
The only thing I was gonna say is that, I mean, I'm saying it now, but I wish we would have just looked at that last tree that's standing there, because it is an issue with walking through there. I don't know. I'm sure everyone's seen that last one. So I don't know if we have a discussion on doing something with that, or just leave it alone.
Well, why don't we table that for now? And then I think right now, I think as far as, and I think you can understand that, I think residents want to see trees going up before they see another tree coming down. So I think we get these trees in and they see what we're doing. And then if we have to get more jobs, I 100% agree, because we got to make sure these sidewalks are safe. So maybe that'd be a fall discussion, Danny?
And that's the only tree that's left in the sidewalk that isn't in the streetscape. When they did the streetscape, the sidewalks got wider, so there's plenty of room with the trees.
And is that buckling right now, or is that sidewalk buckling, that particular tree?
I don't know offhand on that one.
Okay, all right. Why don't we, just remind me, maybe we'll discuss that, once we know we have some funds allocated. But I think it's going to be important to not remove any, well, obviously we want to remove dead trees, but right now I think it's going to be important. I'm sure Stonington residents want to see some trees planted. So I want to be careful how many trees we remove right now, because what we did was, obviously we're getting good feedback, but I just want to be careful. And then
that's positive feedback on that.
Okay. All right. Moving along. Carol, beautification signs. You want to talk on that?
Yeah, sure. Well, speaking of the trees, that'd be a great spot for a beautification sign in the future when we plant them, just to promote our own organization. But I sent everybody the email with the photo of the sign. They're 18 by 24. And
Thank you. I don't know if this is coming through. Did everybody get a picture?
Well, is it backwards for you people? Can you read it?
Oh, that's better.
I got it here.
Oh, they look fabulous.
But yeah, I think they're nice. They're $20 a piece. They're 18 by 24. they're, the metal stakes, but they can be snipped, because as I was saying before, I think we want them lower, not to impede any kind of visual, but, if the project is near the road, but also not to impede the visual of what the project we're doing. Because, if it's in front of a tree, that's fine, but if it's in front of a pollinating garden, you really want it low. Is that 10 to 12 signs, I figured, just in case there's theft or damage, and then we put them up and then move them to the next project. So that, they're not permanent at all. So there's no zoning. So we just almost like a political sign. We put them in when we're doing the project, keep it up for visibility, and then move them to the next.
Carol, the company that you're getting a quote from, is there a minimum for how many signs? I mean, like, say if we decided to order 10 right now, and then maybe we could order 10 again, or do they have a minimum?
She didn't say so. I said we were thinking about a dozen, and she said that's, very doable. So I wouldn't think, maybe 12 is the minimum. So if, it'd be 240, but I have a sponsor that can pay 50%. So it would cost us either 100 or, 120.
Carol, is that one just one-sided?
Oh, no, they're two-sided.
That's great.
Two-sided.
Okay. All right, how does everybody feel? I mean, I think that's a great deal.
I had a question. This is Kit. I was fooling around with the certificate of appreciation, and I'm thinking that we need to, have a consistent visual.
Yeah.
I don't want to get weird about it, but, when I put the certificate together some time ago, I thought this Stonington Beautification Committee would be initial cap, not all bold cap. So I don't know if you want to discuss that so there's some consistency. And then the other question I had was, the logo that I got is different than the logo that's on the sign here. So I'm not sure which one we're using. I guess it's this one with the black eyed Susan on it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. I think the graphic designer just shows the graphic. And I think having it in, is it me doing that? And having it in the bold, it's just because most projects you're going to be driving by. And I think you really want to catch, the thanks to the community, outstanding job is kind of bonus as opposed to when people are driving by, they're really just going to see Stonington Beautification Committee. So I think that's why it's more, that is.
So I don't disagree with that, but I guess I don't, that's fine with me. I mean, you want that, but the question primarily was the logo that has the tree and the bucket and the flowers is different than what I've been working with. And I'm just wondering, is that new? Is that
it's just
be what
like
we're using?
Graphic designer just chose that. That's all. What was the logo on the certificate? I'm trying to remember.
Well, it has a different set of flowers, separated from a bucket and separated from a tree.
Right. Can you send me that? We could do that.
Yeah, I mean, I actually prefer this one. I think I like it, but I don't know if we can use it going forward for everything. But
Yeah, if you guys,
I don't know how married we are to the logo, so.
No, I don't want to speak for everybody. I think they're very similar. So if you guys want to just work on the side with that, and obviously we want to move forward with the signs.
Yeah.
So if you guys just want to tweet,
why don't we do that, Carol? Can we talk and we'll
of course
work it through? Okay.
Absolutely.
And you know what, Carol, what we can do is, why don't we just approve the amount?
Okay.
And then you guys can kind of tweak, if you guys want to tweak that. I mean, I
little floral thing. Yep.
I love it. So, whatever you guys, I mean, I don't want to micromanage, but what I do want to do is make sure we approve the funding so that way you guys can move forward with that.
So it's either 100 or 120 from our committee. So, depending if we could do 10, well, maybe we should decide, should we do 10 or 12? Should we do an even dozen?
I mean, as far as projects for the spring, I mean, I think 10 is going to be sufficient.
Okay,
But if they're, so I mean, it depends on how many she's going to ask you to
right.
order. I mean, if we have to order the dozen, what did we say? I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. How many did, 10 to 12?
Yeah,
And so
10
we
to
have-
12.
So, I mean, I don't know, I'm comfortable with a dozen, but how's everybody else feel?
All right, well, why don't I say 10, and then if she said our minimum's 12, then we don't have a choice.
Okay, so,
Hi, hang on, this is Io. I was just wondering, like as far as what the order quantities are, because, if there's like some base price, getting a couple more might not be that much right now, but it might be a lot more if we came back. And I'm worried about some of them disappearing.
Oh, sure, yeah, they're gonna be damaged and
Yeah.
stolen, yeah.
okay. So Carol, why don't you make a motion for the dozen and the
Okay.
amount? Is that what we're all agreeing about? I just want to make sure I heard everybody. Are we all in agreement to order a dozen?
Yes.
Yeah, agree.
All right, Carol,
Okay.
why don't you make the motion and then someone second that, please?
Yep, I'll make the
That's-
motion, make the
I
motion
second.
to order 12 of the beautification signs at $20 a piece with a sponsor that will, so 240, a sponsor will pick up 50% of that. And the design will be finalized between Kit and Carol.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, that was Anne Marie.
Kit,
Okay, great.
Kit.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Say aye.
aye,
Aye.
aye.
Awesome. Motion carries. Thank you, Carol. I love it.
Great, thank you.
Okay, moving on. So as far as so as far as the future projects for 2021, 2022, we are requesting, as you know, the same as last year, $5,000 with the town of Stonington, which will be under the first select women budget, selectmen budget, which they are meeting with the Board of Finance tomorrow night. Deb, do you want to discuss that really quick on how that proceeds?
So typically we make a presentation to them, they see the spreadsheet, then they ask questions. So, we'll all be there and are able to answer questions.
Fantastic.
So that's why Danielle or Jim said you don't need to be there.
Which I appreciate, and I mentioned to Stacy just that the budget is extremely similar to last year, and that if anything, we just were not able to fundraise, so we don't have like the cushion like we did coming into this year. So no, I appreciate that, Deb, and I know they want to move things very quickly because there's a lot of people speaking. So, and obviously it's a deliberation, so nothing's finalized until obviously when people vote, and hopefully we get people to vote. And but no, thank you. We definitely appreciated the $5,000 last year, and I know we would appreciate it, come next year, so that way we can just continue with what we're doing. It's not really adding. Well, I shouldn't say that. We're hopefully with that budget, it's another additional $1,000 worth of trees and another $500 worth of pollinating gardens, and then just keeping up with what we're already doing. So we're not asking for any additional funds. So we're hopeful, but we really appreciate the effort, and we appreciate your support, Deb.
We're all supportive of it, and that was another reason, I generally attend these meetings, but I wanted to be on the meeting to, listen so I could answer any questions.
No, thank you so much. And like I said, and I think I sent you
Including no.
the budget that, like what we're just trying to just finalize for spring and summer
Libby,
planting. So no, at least you have a taste as far as what we're doing right now. And obviously the other funding was the fall and the winter. So we've been trying to be really fiscal responsible moving forward. So again, we really appreciate it. Okay, moving forward, old business. So I had Danny touch base with Tom regarding our kind of like bucket list, things we've been asking for. Annie, I'm gonna let you take over on this one. So graffiti on Stillman Avenue Bridge, what's the status with that?
That was taken care of. It's all set.
Yay! Okay, because I haven't been down there, so that's great. Definitely send our thanks to them. That's great. Let's see. Oh, so moving forward, West Broad Street School, the paver reinstallation update. So as you guys recall, there were all these memorial bricks, and I can't remember when they were installed because it's going back, but they were definitely there were plantings overgrown in the area. They were, so a lot of memorials you couldn't see, they were unlevel, they really looked terrible. I actually went to the school on business the other day and I got to see the work that Eric Beverly did, and he did a great job. He took all the pavers and reinstalled them. It looks fantastic. They're talking about maybe doing some fresh plantings, more like bulbs, and kind of simplifying it. So I just, let him know. I said, well, just let us know. I mean, if it's something that we can help fund, we will. As far as I know he donated his time, which was really nice, as far as installing that. And I think he just sent a very inexpensive bill to St. Michael's for the material. So he was extremely generous as far as doing that. And it looked so incredible. So if you guys have time, anytime, go there and check it out. And I have to say, and I know Deb's on the line. Deb, they're doing a great job with that building and the cleanup. It looks incredible. West Broad looks just beautiful. So, absolutely. Just a great choice in agreement with letting the school utilize that building. It's been a home run with everything they're doing. Everything is done first class. And with people that I know that help take care of the building, they have nothing but praise. So, I'm so happy to see that building have kids in it. And then as far as the plantings, they're really doing a good job. So very happy.
I agree with you. And I know the other select women do too. They're doing a wonderful job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really, really positive for Pawcatuck. So again, thank you for your support because it almost didn't happen, right? So we're really pleased. Okay, Danny, Donahue Park gravel pathway and the gazebo. Did the gazebo ever get fixed with some of the wood that was damaged?
They were fixed at one time. I asked Tom today, and he believed they were, but he needed to double check, and he thought. When we talked about that today, he thought that was the lighting. He did meet with a lighting contractor there last week to see. I don't know if there's a design already for what to put new lighting in there, or if it's to replace what's damaged or what hasn't been working down there.
Okay. I don't want to mention the contractor that I think does a lot of work for the town of Stonington, but I did see him the other day, and it's one of those things that he does have some really good ideas, and we did approach him several years ago, but obviously electricians are very busy right now. So, yeah. But what's nice to know is they're talking about it. So there's a lot of potential there. Say that one more time.
They did meet there last week on something with the lighting. I didn't get into it 100% with him, what that was or what the plan was, but I know they are talking about it.
That's wonderful. That's great. Thank you.
And then the last thing, the walkway, that's on the list to be done anytime now, he said, once it, obviously the snow melts and they're able to dig the stone out. He said that's on the list to be done.
And I think the sign, I didn't put it on the agenda, but the sign removal.
Yeah.
The weather sign that's there.
That might need to be reminded again.
No
either
problem.
I can remind, either I can do it. Or...
Yeah, if you don't mind, that'd be great. So
is it going to be
put on there?
Sorry, is it going to be cemented or stone? Is it going to be cemented or stone or grass? What was the final thing of the pathway?
To put stone.
Stone.
Yeah. Okay.
And
right.
I think with them digging it up and putting newer, maybe bigger stone. I'm not sure, Danny, but you know, I don't think it's been done since they actually put in Donahue Park, if I'm correct in that statement. So whatever they do is going to be a huge improvement.
Oh, sure.
So yeah, I know we were going back and forth, but it was definitely something that everyone could agree on. So, and obviously at this point, we just really want to get it done, and I'm sure it's going to look nice. So on that section 2, I just put in there future pollinating garden. So the garden that's there needs to be redone. So, if for some reason we have funding available this spring, and if there's money that we can move around, we can, get an estimate about that. That's a decision we can maybe discuss maybe in March or April, or we tap into our savings. So, because obviously we want to continue with the pollinating gardens in Stonington, and that's something that definitely needs to get redone. It's very overgrown, and there's no real variety in there. So I think we all are thinking that it'd be nice to have 3 seasons of flowers in that garden that's going to pop, and look nice through all the seasons. So, so we'll continue to talk on that, and if there's monies that we can move around, I'm sure we all would love to get that done again this spring. Okay. So Kit, as far as the certificate of appreciation, that's next on the agenda. So if that's something that we'll put on the agenda for next month, and then I'm thinking we're not going to really hand these out until spring, until nicer weather, when we can meet people in Donahue Park, and just get a photo op. So that'll give you some time to kind of finalize that. And if anybody has nominations, by all means, start sending them to me. And my wish is to maybe, really give out a few of these in the spring and summer, because obviously right now we can't get outside. So, so yeah, I'll get that on the agenda for next month, Kit, and then we can finalize what it's going to look like, and we'll get going on this spring. And then maybe we can just take turns. Maybe 1 or 2 members can meet with the volunteer. We don't all have to be there, and we can I think that would be nice to get a photo op. And, I haven't added anything to our social media in a while, so I think that would be really nice. And obviously more volunteers are starting to reach out to us, so I think that would be really nice. Let's see. Let's see, Kristen, Beautification Awards for the holiday. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, on how successful that was?
Sure. I think for both the Scarecrow and the lights, we did definitely have quite a few contestants, more towards the last minute. So I think as we move into next year, that we kind of get it a little bit and try to continue to get people to sign up. But I think that a lot of people liked it, and that I anticipate more for next year, hopefully.
And Kristen, I never had a chance to thank you, but thank you for donating those awards, and they were very much appreciated to the winners. So thank you for doing that.
No problem.
And on that too, we can put in the next agenda if you guys decide you want to do something in the summer for another contest. We can just see, working with Human Services seemed to work out pretty well. So that's something if you want, Kristen, we can talk about and see if you want to do that for the summer, or any other suggestions for contests.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay. So moving, and I love that we're moving very quickly. I love it. So advertisement, I didn't put anything in the upcoming Stonington magazine, that's coming out in March. It's just those things were very limited to how many people could get in there, but we'll probably go into the next one. But Danielle, our first selectwoman, gave us a really nice plug. So and she usually does a letter to Stonington residents, and she did plug us, which was really nice, and thanking our group of volunteers. So that was really, really nice. So so as far as communication, we have our social media, we have our email address, and I think with the upcoming signs that Carol's going to put out, I think that's going to look really nice, even this spring. Even if we have something by the bridges, by the grass, I think it's going to look really nice. But obviously, with anything, please reach out to me if you guys have any suggestions. I don't have this on the agenda, but I do want to thank everybody. Everybody really stepped up, during the holiday, and we did a lot of decorating. I got a lot of positive feedback. Everything looked beautiful, and it brought a lot of joy this holiday season to Stonington residents. So bravo to every one of you, really stepped up. So I really appreciate it. Kit was a big help when we gave a lot of those gift bags to first responders. We included some of the ornaments, and we gave them some like candy and all kinds of tchotchke fun stuff of appreciation. So Kit, thank you for.
Hello?
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 She's buffering.
Hello?
It's buffering.
Yeah. Did we just lose her?
It seems.
Oh no, what do we do?
We might have lost her.
All right, Danny, you're up. You're the only guy. I nominate you.
Yeah. Luckily, she was on the last things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just see if I can get a hold of her. If not,
Yeah.
I texted her. This is Stacy. I just texted her.
Hope she's not continuing to talk.
Yeah,
I don't
probably is.
Oh, here we are.
Yes.
Hey, she's back.
All right, let me hit record again. Recording. Sorry about that. Internet, I think because of the rain.
Sure.
All right, good thing we're at the end because I don't even know if it's recording anymore. All right, so no, again, thank you everybody. I will be in touch with you all as far as when we are planting. So Anne-Marie, when you get any information about the bulbs or pansies, we can come up with a date.
I will. I'll work on that.
Once we coordinate with the town, we'll get those plantings in. So we'll make sure all the bridges are looking nice for the Easter holiday weekend. So same thing, you know, Carol, same thing, you know, anytime you feel you are ready, just, and then obviously I don't want to say, you know, where our accounts are. So moving forward, you know, I'll touch base with all of you on where our accounts are and make sure your names are on the accounts. If anything, I just need receipts. So once you guys do your plantings, I just need receipts and we'll just stay within the budget. We'll get all this done. So we'll have a nice looking spring and summer as far as plantings go.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Juliet,
I'm sorry, go
Home
ahead.
Street, are we going to address the Home Street,
Oh, yeah.
Bridge.
yes,
We can definitely put that on the agenda for next month, Anne-Marie.
I
Because are you
counted that we
talking
would
like,
probably need about 14 pots.
okay.
I
Can
know.
you and
know,
I
it's
set up
pretty-
a time to? You and I set a time in the future, a night stay that we can walk that.
Oh, love to. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and then we'll get it on the next agenda. We'll make sure there's photos for
Okay.
everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
And I also, Julie, have a question for you and probably for Dan also. This past season, Christmas season, I took my Christmas tree to the town dump. And I noticed that we were all, you know, just throwing our Christmas trees in a pile. Does the town have a facility or do they have a way of wood chipping those trees, all of our Christmas trees, so we could use them for like mulching or for walking paths to spread, instead of just, you know, dumping them? Is there anything we can do to salvage the trees and chip them?
I can, and I don't know if Danny can speak on this. I can talk to solid waste about that, on what they do. And maybe to say maybe we can't use it in some of the perennial gardens, but maybe, I mean, there's a lot of hiking trails. And I know
Exactly.
the rec department is, they're trying to spread a lot of these hiking trails. You know, they're expanding their hike Stonington with Stonington Rec. So let me look into that, Anne-Marie. Let me talk to
So if there's a
talk to
certain
John.
area that you can dump your tree, and you know, separate from all the other rubbish, leaves and such, and then just chip it and just use all that beautiful, you know, pine mulch for walking paths and maybe around the police station or, you know, or town building. Just
Right.
a
Yeah,
suggestion.
Danny, do you know what they do with the trees offhand?
They
Or
do.
I can
No, I do know. Yeah. Right now it all gets mixed together. So there's obviously poison ivy on the trees. It's all mixed together right now. So, and they do have wood chips, but unfortunately, I wouldn't use the wood chips around a building or anything like that because of what's mixed in with it. Yes.
Yeah, there's too much in it.
Well,
I don't know if it's an
not-
option to put them to the side and do that.
So if
Yeah, I
they
mean,
had
and
if
next
they
week-
had a pile. I'm sorry, Anne-Marie, go ahead.
Yeah, not the trees that are there now this past season, but maybe next year if they could find, you know, have a site for Christmas trees only.
There's a guy that, and I know his schedule. The guy who does the chipping of the trees. I know he does a lot of different towns, so I don't know if that would put extra time on him if it had to be separated or done another day. I don't know. I'll have to find out about that.
Okay, or if
It doesn't hurt to.
all right, yeah, well, so that's something that we could take a look at.
Yes.
Mhm.
Did we lose her again?
Oh, no. It's just a comment from the public. I had an idea, Kristen, I don't know, I mean, it's I don't want to overstep your thing, but one of the,
Lose your.
is that her? One of the ideas maybe for, not a holiday contest, but a summer thing might be pollinator gardens, and that might encourage people to plant pollinator gardens even in their yards.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We had talked about doing something garden related. So that's
Right. I know because I'm in the Stonington Garden Club, and we've have a huge pollinator garden at the Como Children's Garden. But you know, especially getting out since we've all been housebound for so long, putting in a pollinator garden in your yard, and that's like the town that, you know, Danielle's kind of pet project too, to get that going. So that might be a you know, to kind of join in with that and do a pollinator. Whirly butterfly thing or something for their yard, you know, that could be there. You know, you never, you know, something that says, oh, I'm part of that movement or something.
That's a great idea.
I just want to announce that we had technical difficulties. So part of what you guys said didn't record. So if you can just recap that really quick, because I'm obviously my internet keeps going in and out. Can you just recap what you guys just mentioned for recording purposes?
Sure. We talked about, this is just comments from the public, but not technically a holiday contest, but we talked about some type of activity for the summer, like Kristen was doing with the scarecrows and decor, but to do like maybe a pollinator garden, not contest, but initiative. You know, that way that brings about Danielle's initiative, and like, you know, anybody that puts theirs in could, I mean, you can even get them at the dollar store, like one of those swirly birds or a swirly butterfly, you know, so it's like everybody like, oh, I'm part of this initiative kind of thing, you know, some little thing that we encourage that, and the, you know, to go along with the town's, you know, Danielle's project also.
I think that's a great idea. Can you, because I know we talked about a lot, and I want to make sure we wrap up, but can you just for next agenda, because I'd like to talk about this in more detail. Let's get this on next month's agenda, because I'm worried about my internet's going to go out again.
Sure.
And then if you guys have ideas and summarize, make sure you email me, because, you know, that way we can get it on the agenda. Would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Julie, before
All right,
we
anything
I have one
else?
thing- Yes, I have one thing before we adjourn, Julie.
Yep.
Do we
Yeah, go
need
ahead.
do we need to allocate any money for the island that Sean and Antonio put in? I know by the Shell Station in Stonington. I know it needs new mulch. I don't know about the plantings, but definitely needs some more mulch put there. Somebody drove through a part of it, and some needs to be added. And if we're gonna add it, we probably need to add the whole thing for it to look right.
Mhm.
Well, so right now we're tapped with the money from the town, right? That would have to dip into savings, so I would need to reach out to Sean, and then we would have to put it on next month's agenda
All right.
to allocate those funds. So we're looking at March, so it's still springtime.
Yeah,
So
no, that's
just
fine. I
remind me.
about that.
Yeah, no, just remind me, because I did send Sean an invite and I sent him the agenda. So, but no, that's good to know. So just remind me, because I'll reach out to him, and if it's something we need to allocate with our savings, we will. And just to remind everybody, there's $1,081 and 84 cents in our savings. Right now, we allocated the $300 for the spring plantings. So obviously, there's money in there. And then actually, we just allocated how much money again, Carol? Sign.
220 minus 100, $120 probably.
Okay. All right. So right now that's coming out of savings. So, like I said, just moving forward, we have to be really cautious, and I kind of want to get through budget season and make sure we have that $5,000 moving forward, as you guys can understand, or we're going to be doing a lot of fundraising next year if we don't get that $5,000, or there's going to be things that we're going to be going without, right? We're just not going to have the monies to put it in. All right. So I kind of want to wrap things up unless anybody has anything else to say.
Yep. Hi, this is Io. I just wanted to say that maybe we want to put thoughts on Earth Day for the agenda next month. If we want to do anything, I don't know if we can promote any sort of cleanups. But Earth Day will be April 22nd. So next month would be the final month to think about if we were doing anything or promoting it in any way as a committee.
Good thought.
No, that's a great idea.
Yep.
All of you that has suggestions for next month's agenda, just give me a little summary brief, if you don't mind, for March. And obviously we've already did the spring plantings and summer plantings, so we don't need to really discuss that further, but we can, you all have some awesome ideas. So let's I just want to make sure I don't forget anything. So please just send me a summary of what you want to bring up in March, and that would be incredible. But obviously, Io, if you have any leads on anything with cleanups, by all means. And obviously there's a lot of student volunteers that need volunteer work, and obviously we got to keep the numbers small moving forward because we're still in a pandemic. So having like small little projects, I think would be great moving forward. Okay. All right. Anyone else?
Great.
When's
Thank
our
you.
next meeting?
Oh
Okay.
gosh.
Thank you.
Third Monday in March.
15th.
So what are we looking at?
15th.
Thank you, hon. Yep. And that's not a holiday, so we don't have to move it. Yes, we're looking at March 15th, Monday at 5 o'clock.
Perfect.
All right, everybody. Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn. Who said that? All right,
Marie.
Anne-Marie, is there a second?
I'll second. That's Io.
And that's Io. All right. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Jen.
stay safe. And stay well. Thank you all very much. I really appreciate you guys. All right. Thank you, Deb.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Dan. Info. Yep.